Hey guys, Josh here, the Note Troll from Red Room Recordings. Today we're going to go through the vocal production process. Give you guys some insights on how to go through vocals once you've recorded them, pick the best takes, and prepare them for the mix. Get them sounding nice and tuned, and a little bit of editing for sometimes if you've got two vocalists going, they don't perfectly line up. So I'm going to show you how to correct some of those issues as well. So we'll get started on this. This song is called Cinderella Sleeps. It's a song by my band Swampy and the Note Troll. We do a lot of kind of harder rock and stuff, but this is kind of one of the more chilled out, kind of folksy reggae kind of tunes that we do. So I hope you guys dig it. We'll start at the start of the song here, just so you guys can sort of give it a listen, check it out. And the first part of vocal production is to start going through your takes and picking the best ones, the takes that sound the best, and will work out the best in your final production here. So we'll jump in right at the start. I'll give you an example of kind of what the two vocals sound like together. I just recorded my vocals the other day, so they might be a little bit louder in the mix than Cody's vocals. I've got a few plugins on here that I used when I was recording, just some EQ and some compression. We're going to be doing a class on this same song for mixing and mastering. So you'll see a lot more. I'm not going to get too much into that kind of stuff today. We're going to really just focus on the vocal comping, editing, and a bit of tuning as well. So without further ado, let's jump in here.
I woke up late this morning to find you by my side.
So you can see right there the timing of my part versus Cody's part is a little bit off. I know this is the last take of the day that I did, so it's kind of getting tired, and I was kind of experimenting a little bit too. So some of the lines didn't necessarily line up, but I think because I'm the backup singer in this song, it's a little bit less important. So we'll start off with Cody's stuff. So usually this is kind of the way I normally do it too. I'm going to go into Cody's vocals, and we'll mute mine, and we'll just try and find the best lead vocal performance here that we can. So the way I usually do that, you can see here in Cubase, they got this feature called lanes. And you can show the lanes, and when you're recording, if you record multiple takes, it'll do it in lanes like this. So this is take 1, take 2, take 3, take 4, and so on. It kind of automatically numbers them or whatever. And sometimes if you don't use a take, it'll skip one. So it starts at 6 because I don't think we kept any of the first 4. So anyway, we'll start. Usually the process I go through is kind of listening through each little piece of this audio, kind of on loop, and listening to the different lanes. So I'm just gonna create a little loop here that goes right around these vocals. And what I'm gonna do is turn on the loop feature. You can either kind of click when you get this little hand looking thing up here, or you can turn on the loop button down at the bottom, the cycle number. Looks like, yeah, there's a key backslash, numpad slash. We'll do that. There we go. I never use the key ones. I always just click it. Anyhow, so this is the most recent take is number 11. The one I guess I kept after the session was number 10. I think we kind of liked this take 10 when we left the studio. So I'm gonna run through that one first, and then I'll start checking the other ones out. And so the way you do that, generally, whatever one's darker here in this list of lanes is going to be the one that shows up, when you close the lanes, like on the main track here. So you can see, these waveforms kind of line up and so on. So the process of comping is really just going through in these lanes, and say I want to take 11 as my vocal take for this particular part, you click on take 11 and you press the U key, which I just try to think of as up, to bring it up to the front, and then that brings that take to the front of the and you know, includes it in the track instead. So go back to number 10 the way I had it. So the way I tend to listen to these is I'll start with whatever one I kind of had last, because usually my instincts on that kind of stuff are, you know, right when you're fresh out of the studio. You know, right now I'm looking back at this after a couple of weeks when we recorded Cody's stuff, and a couple of days in the case of my stuff. So, you know, you don't always necessarily remember which ones were the best, but you know, I always start with what's there. And then so I've got this loop set up so we can loop through that part over and over again. I can listen to it, I can think about it, and what I'm going to do then is I'm going to solo other lanes, and then on subsequent listens and runs through this loop, I'm gonna listen to the other ones, and if one of them kind of grabs me as being the better take, then that's the one I'm going to use. So I'm just going to start going through that process. You guys can check it out. So it's going to start with take 4 or lane 4 here.
I woke up late this morning. 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 Woke up late this morning.
I think I'm liking 3. It's just kind of got that kind of soft vibe to it.
I woke up late this morning.
Maybe a combination of the 2 even.
Woke up late this morning.
I kind of like that extended note, honestly. Maybe I'll keep that one the way it is. I think there's some tuning that has to happen there, but we'll get to that later. So let's move our loop ahead to the next line.
Find you by my side. Find you by my side.
No, I don't like that one. Another thing too is if you cut your sections on both before and after on this top line, it's gonna cut it on all the different lanes. So that's a good way to do it, so that you can kind of quickly jump through and check your different parts. So I'm going to run through and just do that quick for all of them. Maybe do it for my takes as well while I'm going through this. As you can see, this editing stuff is a bit of a pain in the butt sometimes. A lot of this kind of very nitpicky kind of work that you got to do. But you know, it's important stuff to do to get the song sounding as good as it can. So just quickly jump through, chop all these up. Luckily, I've got this grid snap turned on, so it's a pretty quick process, really. There we go, all chopped up. All right, let's keep going through these takes.
Find you by my side.
Don't really like that one.
Find you by my side.
That one's got a good vibe.
Find you by my side.
I think I like that one slightly better than this one, so we'll bring that up for now. I'll check 1 and 2. Usually the early takes, it can go either way, but a lot of the time I find the early takes end up being, you're not warmed up, or the artist isn't warmed up, and they end up being a little shaky, but we'll check them to be sure.
Just to find you by my side.
Kind of like that.
To find you by my side.
And back to 3.
Find you by my side. Just to find you by my side.
I kind of like that delivery of this one, so I think I'm going to change it to that. So let's just jump back quick and hear the previous take as well.
This morning, just to find you by my side.
Cool. So we'll stick with those two. Next up.
And my whole world moves in slow motion. And my whole world moves in slow motion.
That one sounds a little too tired for me.
And my whole world moves in slow motion. And my whole world moves in slow motion. My whole world moves in slow motion. And my whole world moves in slow motion.
I think that's probably still the best one there. We'll stick with that. So again, you can either slide your bar up or redraw it every time.
As I feel you deep inside. As I feel you deep inside.
Leaning towards that one.
As I feel you deep inside.
Too soft.
As I feel you deep inside.
Sounds a little pitchy, but I think it's got kind of the same vibe as number 3.
As I feel you deep inside.
3's a little scratchy too.
As I feel you deep inside.
I think we'll go with 3 here.
As I feel of my soul.
I'd like to hear that with a little more correct pitch. Sorry, Cody.
Of my soul. 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 My soul, of my soul.
So I think we're good with the first take that we kept there.
Of my soul, of my soul, of my soul.
So 2's got the best pitch, but
Of my soul.
I think I like the energy of that one. So pitch you can always change. So usually with these kind of things, you gotta find the right pitch more than, or sorry, the right delivery more than anything. Especially with I know in this band we kind of tend to experiment a lot more in the studio. We do a lot of writing of our parts while we're there, and test out different takes and different vibes of each part of the performance, kind of on the spot. I don't do that with every band, but me and Cody don't get together to write as much as we'd like to these days, so we end up having to do it this way a lot of the time. So let's keep listening through here.
Of my soul.
It's a good one.
Of my soul. Oh. Of my soul. Of my soul, of my soul.
Yeah, that one's good there. Next up.
Of my soul, of my soul, oh, oh, oh. Of my soul, oh, of my soul, oh, oh.
Kind of like that ad lib, so I might cut this in half. We'll keep this piece here and this piece. So combine two takes there.
Of my soul, oh, oh, of my soul.
So definitely heard a couple little pitch fluctuations there, but I think that delivery is good, and I know I recorded along to this one, so it'll save me some editing if I'm going to use this take of my vocals along with it. I'll just show you what that sounds like.
Of my soul,
Which isn't a great take either, actually. When I go through mine later, we'll check that out. Maybe check this now.
of my soul.
So that's kind of a steady. So I kind of like that one, actually. I think I'll use that for my vocal. Just check a few more Cody's here.
Of my soul.
He's definitely more bang on there, I would say, for pitch.
Of my soul. Of my soul.
So this might be a spot where it's actually useful to cut out two of Cody's vocals. Technically, this is the chorus on this song. So I'm just going to duplicate his vocal track. I'm going to delete what's there, and I'm going to change the name of this to Cody Vocals Double. I guess it put a little D there for me, but I like to have the whole word. So it's between those two takes, so I'm going to trim this out. I'm going to grab right at this 23.3. I'm going to use this take 10 as an alternate. I'm going to throw it down there, and we're going to put I believe it was take 2 here. Lane 2 was the preferred one. So let's hear all three together.
Of my soul.
Cool. So I'll probably go back and do that. I mean, this is technically a chorus where the "My Soul" lyric begins. Though we kind of changed the words of the chorus each time through. So I'm gonna go back and do that again. So this is just creating doubles, and it's a pretty standard thing in a lot of styles of music. Certainly for this, I think it'll work well, just because he's kind of quiet. It's a pretty chilled out song, and having those doubles in there, I think, is going to give me some good options during the mix. Just gotta find where it started. I think it was here.
As I feel you deep inside of my soul. Of my soul.
Another thing to consider too is that I may end up just muting everything, because this kind of soft vibe in this first chorus may help kind of build the song, the dynamics of the song a bit too. But just in case, I'm going to grab this second one that I liked.
Of my soul.
And we'll drop that down into the next track.
Of my soul. Of my soul. Of my soul.
there.
Of my soul. Oh, oh.
So it looks like this one kind of matches it the best.
Of my soul. Oh. Of my soul. Of my soul. Oh. Oh. Of my soul.
Cool. So that's the general process of comping vocals. So I got to go through the rest of the song here, and I wanted to keep this video a bit shorter. So really, it's just going to be that same process of listening through every single one of these takes and pulling out my favorite takes, and then we're going to jump back in and do the same thing for my vocals, for the backing vocals. So I'm just going to stop the video here, and I'm going to jump back in when it's time to take a look at the backing vocals.